Socrates, born in Athens around 470 BC, was a classical Greek philosopher, one of the founders of Western philosophy and one of the most influential figures in the history of human thought. He is known for his method of questioning known as the Socratic method, as well as for his contributions to ethics, epistemology, and metaphysics. Socrates' ideas were recorded by his students, most notably Plato, who wrote extensively about his teachings. However, we have no surviving writings from Socrates himself. Much of what we know about him comes from Plato's dialogues, which are philosophical conversations that Socrates has with other characters. These dialogues explore a wide range of topics and often end with Socrates being put on trial for impiety and corrupting the youth. Eventually, he is sentenced to death and chooses to drink a cup of poison rather than go into exile. Socrates' death is a pivotal moment in the history of Western philosophy, and his legacy continues to inspire thinkers today. Here are some of his best and most famous quotes. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 10. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. This quote is from Plato's Apology, which is the first part of his trilogy that recounts Socrates' trial. In this dialogue, Socrates defends himself against charges of impiety and corrupting the youth. He argues that his mission in life is to improve the quality of people as souls, and that he does not deserve to be punished for doing so. Socrates also claims that he is wiser than those who think they are wise, because he realizes the limits of his own knowledge. He says that the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. This quote is an example of Socrates' humility and his commitment to seeking wisdom. He was not afraid to admit that he did not know something, and he was always open to learning from others. No. 9. I cannot teach you, but I can lead you to the place where you can find your answers. Socrates was not a traditional teacher who simply imparted knowledge to his students. Instead, he was more like a mentor or a coach who helped his students discover their own abilities and insights. He believed that the role of the teacher is not to make students smarter, but to help them become more self-aware and independent thinkers. To do this, he used a method of questioning called the Socratic method, which involves asking a series of questions to help someone understand the logic of their beliefs or to expose the flaws in their reasoning. The Socratic method is still used today in classrooms and in debates, and it is a testament to Socrates' genius that his method is still relevant and effective. No. 8. Human beings have the ability to alter their nature to become better. Socrates believed that humans are capable of great things, and that we have the ability to improve ourselves and become better people. He believed that we are not simply born with certain traits and abilities, but that we can cultivate and develop new ones through effort and practice. He also believed that we are not at the mercy of our circumstances, but that we can overcome adversity and achieve our goals if we are willing to put in the work. His belief in human potential is a theme that runs through many of Plato's dialogues, and it is one of the reasons why Socrates is such an inspiring figure. Number 7. The unexamined life is not worth living. This is one of the most famous quotes from Plato's Republic, and it is often seen as the central tenet of Socrates' philosophy. In this dialogue, Socrates argues that the purpose of life is to strive for excellence, and that the unexamined life is a life of ignorance and wrongdoing. He believed that we have a duty to examine our own thoughts and actions, and to ensure that we are living in accordance with the highest standards of justice and wisdom. The unexamined life may seem comfortable and easy, but Socrates believed that it is ultimately a life not worth living. For the examined life may be difficult and challenging, but it is also the path to wisdom and self-improvement. No. 6. We must not only accept the things to come, but also the self which creates them. This quote is from Plato's Phaedo dialogue, which takes place on the day of Socrates' death. In this dialogue, Socrates discusses the immortality of the soul with his friends. He argues that the soul is immortal and that it continues to exist after the body dies. He also believed that the soul is responsible for creating our character and personality, and that we must therefore examine and improve our soul in this life in order to ensure a good afterlife. This quote is an example of Socrates' optimism and his belief in the power of the human spirit. He was able to face his death with courage and serenity, knowing that his soul would live on. Number 5. Be the kind of person you want to meet. This quote is an example of Socrates' golden rule, which is a simple yet profound ethical principle that has been echoed throughout history. It is a call to treat others in the same way that we would like to be treated, and it is a reminder that our actions have an impact on the world around us. When we are kind, compassionate, and helpful to others, we create a ripple effect that can make the world a better place. But when we are selfish, harmful, and uncaring, we contribute to a culture of negativity and suffering. Socrates believed that we should strive to be the kind of person we would want to meet, and this quote is a distillation of that belief. It is a call to action for us to examine our own behavior and to make sure that we are being the kind of people we want to be. No. 4. True friends are those who think that you are great, even though they know that you are not. This quote is a humorous observation about the nature of friendship and the human condition. On the surface, it may seem paradoxical to say that true friends are those who think we are great, even when they know we are not. After all, don't we want our friends to be honest with us, even if the truth is sometimes painful? Socrates was pointing out that sometimes our friends' admiration and praise can be a reflection of our own self-image, rather than an accurate assessment of our qualities. We all have moments when we feel inadequate or insecure, and it can be comforting to have friends who believe in us, even when we doubt ourselves. However, Socrates was not suggesting that we should surround ourselves with people who are constantly lying to us, or who enable our worst qualities. Rather, he was suggesting that true friends are those who can balance honesty with compassion, and who can see the best in us, even when we can't see it ourselves. Number 3, if you want to tell me who your heroes are, tell me whom you fear and despise. This quote is a powerful commentary on the relationship between our heroes and our villains. On the surface, it may seem like these are two completely separate categories of people. Our heroes are those we admire and look up to, while our villains are those we despise and fear. However, Socrates was suggesting that these two categories are actually intertwined in a complex way. The people we fear and despise represent the worst aspects of ourselves, the qualities we want to deny and suppress. By identifying these qualities, we can better understand our own weaknesses and work to improve them. Conversely, the people we admire and respect represent the best aspects of ourselves, the qualities we aspire to and want to emulate. By understanding what we admire in others, we can better understand our own values and what we want to create in the world. Ultimately, Socrates was suggesting that the people we fear and despise are just as important to our identity as the people we admire and respect. And by understanding the complexity of this relationship, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. No. 2. Do not do harm. This quote is a simple yet profound ethical principle that has been echoed throughout history. It is a call to action for us to be mindful of the impact our actions have on others and to strive to make a positive difference in the world. At its core, this principle is about empathy and compassion. It is a reminder that every person is an end in themselves and that we should never intentionally cause harm or suffering to others. Whether it's physical, emotional, or psychological harm, we have a responsibility to consider the impact our actions will have on those around us. This principle is not just a rule to be followed in specific situations. It is a guiding light that should inform all aspects of our lives. It challenges us to examine our motivations and intentions, to be aware of the potential consequences of our actions, and to strive to make a positive difference in the world. It is a call for each of us to be an agent of good, to be a force for healing, and to contribute to a better world for all. No. 1. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. This quote is a powerful statement that challenges our assumptions and encourages us to be open to new ideas and perspectives. At first glance, it may seem paradoxical. How can not knowing anything be considered the highest form of wisdom? However, upon further reflection, we begin to see the depth and complexity of Socrates' statement. True wisdom, according to Socrates, lies in recognizing the limits of our own knowledge. It is the realization that there is always something more to learn, something we don't understand, and that we can never truly claim to know everything. This challenges the human tendency to be overconfident and dogmatic, to think that we have all the answers and that our beliefs are absolute. Instead, Socrates suggests that we should approach life with humility and curiosity, always be open to learning from others and questioning our own beliefs. By doing so, we can free ourselves from the limitations of our own ignorance and move towards a deeper, more profound understanding of the world around us. As you can see, Socrates was a man ahead of his time, whose teachings continue to be relevant and applicable to our lives today. His ideas and words have the power to challenge our assumptions, to inspire us to be better versions of ourselves, and to remind us of the importance of critical thinking and self-reflection. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this video for you to watch next, or head over to our site for more amazing content. See you tomorrow.